A one-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side, November rent, $2,400. A woman in her late 20s signs the check at a kitchen counter the size of a cutting board. Outside, the 6 train rattles past her window every 4 minutes. She has lived in this apartment for 3 years. She takes the subway to a publishing office in Midtown. 41 minutes, door to desk. About $152 a month for the fare. She does not own a car. She has never owned a car. She does not have car insurance, a car payment, a gas budget, or a parking spot. Her legs get her to the bodega on the corner. Her Omni tap gets her everywhere else. Then she finds a listing, Terre Haute, Indiana, a one-bedroom apartment. $700 a month, hardwood floors, a yard. The math takes about 15 seconds, 2,400 minus 700. That is $1,700 a month, $20,400 a year. She could save $20,000 a year just by moving. She has student loans. She has credit card debt from a root canal in 2024. $20,000 a year sounds like a different life. So, she moves. Her company lets her work remotely, new policy. But the remote salary is adjusted for location. The offer comes through. $42,000, down from $58,000. She does the subtraction in her head, $16,000 less. But the rent savings are $20,000, so she is still ahead by $4,000, right? The first week is quiet. The apartment is twice the size of the one in New York. The grocery store is clean, wide, fluorescent. The cashier says good morning. Nobody is in a rush. She puts a plant on the windowsill. She takes a photo of it for Instagram. She writes the caption herself. Something about peace. The second week, she realizes the grocery store is a 22-minute drive. Not a walk, a drive. There is no corner bodega. There is no deli on the block. There is a Walmart 17 minutes south and a Kroger 22 minutes north. And everything in between is gas stations and dollar stores. The USDA calls this a low excess food area. She calls it Tuesday night with an empty fridge and no energy to get in the car. She needs a car. She has never had one. She buys a used sedan. The average monthly payment on a used car in the fourth quarter of 2025 was $537. According to Experian, she negotiates hers down to $380. Her insurance comes in at $142 a month. That is the average for full coverage in Indiana, according to Bankrate. Gas runs about $200 a month. The American Automobile Association puts the national average around that range for regular commuting households in 2026. $380 plus $142 plus $200. That is $722 a month she was not spending in New York. In New York, her transportation cost was about $152 a month. One Omni tap, one subway system, one city that was built for people who do not own cars. In Terre Haute, her transportation cost is $722 a month. A car, insurance, gas, maintenance, she has not even started counting yet. You close the tab on the calculator, you open it again. You add the numbers one more time. The difference is $570 a month. That is $6,840 a year in new transportation costs that did not exist in her old life. Nobody in the TikTok comments mentioned this part. Now, pull back. The Council for Community and Economic Research publishes a cost of living index every quarter. It breaks spending into categories: groceries, housing, utilities, transportation, healthcare. The composite index for Manhattan sits around 239. The composite for a place like Terre Haute sits around 84. That gap looks enormous, but here is what most people miss. The housing index does almost all of the work. Manhattan Housing Index is nearly 400, Terre Haute housing is around 54. That is a 7-to-1 ratio, but transportation flips. The C2ER transportation index for a place like Terre Haute runs higher than Manhattan. And I should say, I did not understand this part the first time I read it. It took me a second pass. Because you assume cheap town means cheap everything. But the index measures per unit price. And even that does not capture how many more units you consume when you have to drive everywhere for everything. A January 2026 analysis from the University of Illinois confirmed it. The C2ER Transportation Index captures per unit fuel and service prices. But rural residents consume dramatically more of those units. Low price per gallon, high gallons per life. That is the leak in the math. The cost of living did not shrink, it moved. It flowed out of one pipe and into another. Her salary dropped $16,000, her rent dropped $20,400. On paper, she is ahead $4,400. But her car costs $722 a month. That is $8,664 a year. Subtract that from the $4,400 surplus. She is now negative $4,264. She is spending more money in Terre Haute than she was in New York. Not because Terre Haute is expensive, because the savings were in one category and the costs were hiding in three others. Housing moved, transportation, insurance and fuel moved the other way, and her income moved the wrong direction entirely. I'm not going to tell you what to do with any of this. I'm not a financial advisor, and your math has variables mine does not. But the structure is worth understanding. There is a name for what happened to her salary: geographic pay adjustment. Her company used the Bureau of Economic Analysis regional price parities to recalculate her compensation. The 2024 RPP for the New York metro area is about 109. Indiana's metro portion is about 94.5. That is roughly a 14.5-point gap. Her employer treated that gap like a discount and passed it to her. The company saved money. She received a smaller paycheck and a longer commute. Nobody at the company lost anything when she moved. That is worth sitting with for a second. Now add what the spreadsheet cannot hold. She had a therapist in New York, $45 copay, twice a month. 12-minute walk from her apartment. In Terre Haute, the nearest in-network therapist accepting new patients is 43 miles away. Every single county in Indiana has been designated a mental health workforce shortage area. According to a 2024 report cited by WFY Public Media, a 2025 HRSA Behavioral Health Workforce brief found that rural counties are significantly more likely than urban counties to have 0 psychiatric nurse practitioners, 0 psychologists, 0 licensed counselors. About 61% of all mental health professional shortage areas in the country are rural. According to HRSA, she is not in a gap in the system. She is in a place the system does not reach. 2 in the morning, the apartment is quiet. It is always quiet. She is sitting on the floor next to the couch with a laptop open to a spreadsheet she built herself. Rent, car, insurance, gas, groceries. The subtotal at the bottom is not what she expected when she packed the U-Haul 8 months ago. She is saving $20,400 on rent. She is losing $16,000 on income. She is spending $8,664 on a car she did not need before. Her therapist cost $1,080 a year in co-pays. She has not replaced that yet. She has added roughly $400 a year in maintenance she did not expect. Her internet costs more here. Her heating bill is higher because the apartment is older and the insulation is from 1987. Start with the $20,400 rent savings. Subtract the $16,000 salary cut. That leaves $4,400. Subtract the net new transportation cost. In New York, she spent about $1,824 a year on transit. In Terre Haute, she spends $8,664. The net new cost is $6,840. 4,400 minus 6,840. Negative 2,440. She has already gone negative. And she has not added the therapy gap, the heating bills, or the maintenance costs. The $20,000 dream shrank past zero. It reversed. Her closet has more space. Her bank account does not. She did not fail. She did not overspend. She did not make a frivolous choice. She moved to a cheaper place, and the math still caught her. Because the cost of living is not one number. It is a web of numbers, and they move in different directions. And the ones that go up are the ones nobody puts in the headline. AAA S 2025, Your Driving Costs Street UD, found that the average annual cost of owning and operating a new vehicle is $11,577. That is $965 a month. And that includes depreciation, finance charges, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and registration. She bought used, so her number is lower, but the structure is the same. The car is not an expense, the car is a system. And the system has 7 moving parts, and every one of them bills you separately. The BA data say that $1 in Indiana buys about 5.5% more than the national average. $1 in the New York Metro buys about 9% less. That is a real gap. But the gap lives almost entirely inside housing and food. Transportation and healthcare push back. And income adjusts downward faster than expenses adjust downward. The net effect, according to the C2ER data, is that the actual savings of moving from a high-cost metro to a low-cost small town retain about 30 to 35% of the nominal housing savings. Once you account for transportation, income adjustment, and access costs. 32 cents on the dollar, that is what the average mover keeps. She kept less. The salary cut dragged her below the average and into the red. She still likes the yard. She still likes the quiet. She still takes photos of the plant on the windowsill. But she stopped posting about how much money she is saving. Because she is not saving what she thought. She is paying $2,400 more per year than she was in New York. In a town where the nearest emergency room is 19 minutes by car. And the nearest therapist is 43 miles down a state highway. The cost of living does not drop when you move, it rearranges. And the new arrangement has line items you have never seen before. Billed by companies you have never heard of for a life you did not plan for. The spreadsheet she built in New York had 6 rows. The spreadsheet she built in Terre Haute has 14. She did not move to a cheaper life, she moved to a different expensive one.